Welcome back, Five Aces.
Hey people, Five Aces here. Have you ever experienced tournament whiplash? That's exactly where I'm coming from right now. This is TDGL, not to be confused with RAGL, and both events are basically running at the same time, at least for me that is, because I've got some casting backlog, a serious case of casting backlog to be more precise. But we're gonna dive right back in. This is part of the playoffs, so this decides who gets to play in the bronze match and who gets to play in the finals. And our contenders for the day are spawning on the right hand side, already opening up with the hand of Nod. It is Mr. Borgmo, who has definitely been a staple in the competitive scene, at least for Tiberian Dawn. He's got matched up against Mr. Orb, spawning as GDI, representing the United Nations, or basically the continuation of the United Nations with more militant means. And this is going to be a good one. It's a best of 5 as far as I'm aware, is a best of 3. Either one of those two. And we're on Desert Mandarin, a map that has made it into the tournament pool. We're seeing Borgmo opening up with an engineer. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. And he's going to be squaring off against Orb, immediately rushing out of Weapons Factory. So I don't have to wager with GDI. This may either be one Humvee into an APC, into an engineer, which is an expensive route to take but still viable, or maybe a triple Humvee rush push or something, or just straight up econ. Orb likes to play greed in the early game, at least for the most part, if it's not KK&D with its Toyota rushes. So this map also features a little bit of blue tip. It's not really worth it to pop down a refinery, but it is worth it to make the harvester go the extra mile to gobble up some of the green goodness, or the blue goodness in that case. But appears to be the case that Orb is opting for the triple Humvee, also following up with a barracks, so not the worst choice in the world. And Borgmo has basically noticed that there is a distinct absence of, claimed derricks there. It's gonna be a bit confusing, and he knows what he's up against, moves out his MCV because he feels safe. This is a little bit risky, but at the same rate, if you know where your opponent has their Humvees parked, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's annoying now that there's 3 Humvees in your base, but they can't realistically inflict too much damage. Yeah, there is only harvesters. And those pellet guns don't do a lot of damage, let's be honest here. Harvester for the tanking. Ooh, some good DPS coming out. Good kiting here as well. And at the end of the day, nothing really has happened just yet. So basically what he wants to do is just keep the harvester. Ooh, nice trades from Borgmo. Man, he's trading up in value. Okay, harvester is going to work now. That was a decent one. And with that out of the way, we're also seeing a couple more buggies appear. Buggies and bikes, the old classico. Orb going for a late double engineer, basically trying to mask his aggression. But Borgmo has already secured both of his oil derricks, and it's been a while. Oh, buggies can give chase. Yeah, that was a nice strafe, just tickling the armor of the Humvee and finishing it off. And here goes the other one as well. Double engineers still in the wings, and they're going to be picked up by an APC, which is basically the build that I had envisioned for Orb. He went double refinery. That costs you a lot of time and also power. This is something not negligible. If you're going for, if you're playing Tiberian Dawn, you basically need to absolutely be sure that you've got enough power to run your base, because unlike in RA, being on low power is devastating. Cuts it not only your production time in half, but also you can't just power down structures. This is a critical feature in RA, which is distinctly missing in TD. And as a result, power snipes are just that much more important. And conversely, you have to manage your power a lot better than in RA. It's not as forgiving as some of the APCs. By the way, so in case I'm missing some of the action here, there is no sound for me at the moment, but that should be okay because it's not an issue. All those APCs running down the buggies, because that's not an issue of the computer itself, but rather an issue of my headphones, which are malfunctioning for some reason. I confirmed and double-checked the previous recording or the test recording that it did have audio, so I really hope it will, but I'm optimistic. Yeah, for a while now, the APCs are the kingmaker on the field. And Orb has managed to find his way into the base. Ouch, that's gonna sting a lot. Yeah, he needs rockets, really. That's the only thing he needs. So as soon as all the buggies are dead, APCs are not that scary. You can see them falter relatively fast. This has been an expensive hold, don't get me wrong. But at the same rate, nothing really crucial, no crucial infrastructure has been lost. Ooh, lots of buggies though. A lot of buggies. That is a cubic ton of buggies thus far. Borgmo should have a defense ready. Unfortunately, it's a turret, so that kind of sucks. Oh, he's been focusing on the rifle rather than the rockets. So that's a bit annoying. Airstrip is already in the yellow. Okay. Orb has retargeted. I'm not sure if that's really worth it. Maybe he could have committed for the war factory, but then again, no. Doesn't appear to be the case. So, easy hold for Borgmo, and the tanks are starting to appear, but they didn't do anything just yet. This tank straight up running into a turret. Yeah. Thank you, that's only the burning chassis remaining. And Orb sounding the retreat. What's going on the other side of the map? Nothing too much, just the harvester migration. This is something for David Attenborough to comment on. I'm not the man here. I don't have the background in nature and science, I guess. Yeah, it's been a busy week, so apologies, the uploads have been a bit late. Ooh, there is also a communication center out for Borgmo, so light tanks versus mediums, it's about to happen. There's a flank on the top. Ooh, a raid with recon bikes. The good old recon raid can easily snipe a Harvester or two here. Yep, going straight for the kill. That should be 2 salvos for a kill, if he commits. Ooh, barely does not commit enough. Not hard enough, at least. That is still a Harvester alive on a pixel of health, and it's gonna regenerate, so... Sorry to say, my friend, all your attempts have been futile thus far. But neither player has inflicted any staggering losses on the opponent. Just yet. Okay, Orb trying again via the top side. He's also parked a rocket launcher. That is very smart. But the rocket launcher isn't covering the back entrance. A nice hit and run from the Recons. Nice backstab. He's also going for the blue tip. He actually built a refinery. Wow. Orb, my man. There is no flame tank out. Yeah, again, apologies for the little delay in uploads. So what happened basically is that it's exams time. And that's always a bit tough, you know. Having to grade 150 exams. Because I'm running five classes at once. It's kind of... That's kind of a tall order most of the time, in the best of times. Recons have found their way into the power lines. Fortunately, the sandbag barrier prevents Orb's forces from closing the gap. So as a result, he's committing hard for the rocket launcher. Nice, MRLS snipe. MRLS no more. Oh my goodness, that's brilliant from Borgmo. He's targeting the Harvester in the backlines while Orb is busy dealing with this incursion. Oh, that was so smart. That was really well played. Great distraction play. He's also committing for the barracks. I'm not sure if that's a good call. Nope. Barracks gets hosed down, but the Tiberian. Once the Tiberian is dead, what's happening in the north? Is scrambling to defend, so both players' feathers getting ruffled. At the end of the day, it's starting to look like, with the advent of those light tanks, that Borgmo is going to be able to stop this, whereas the Recons are still roaming around the map. Super, super annoying. Oh, this is going to be juicy. This is going to be an econ raid and a half. Yep, Orb's eco being cut down to size. And still, nothing of value has been lost on this side except 1 Harvester, 1 Refinery. That's fine. My goodness, Orb is bleeding Harvesters left, right, and center. Yeah, you might want to have to invest into a couple new dump trucks. Those ones aren't gonna do it anymore. Oh, I zoomed out far enough so you couldn't see the veteran seat. My apologies. I was so confused as to why they didn't. Oh, they're closing the gap. One of the Recons is dead. The other's still alive. Exfiltrating safely. Beautifully played. Orb's tank columns are trying to cut him short, cut him off here. It's not happening. Man, that was some sick maneuvering. The Recons are still alive, and they've basically knocking at the front door. Orb has relocated to the top side, so if he manages to get this base up and running, he's gonna be on 3 bases versus 2. That's gonna be a big boon. the mid to late game. Okay, so that's most of the recons gone now. There's a sizable number of light tanks now. The recons are doing their best to try and weave in and out of combat, such as not to take too much damage. Oh, airstrike coming in hot, and I mean that in a very literal sense. Yeah, that has blasted all the infantry sky high. There is more though, where that one came from. The second batch of infantry has now appeared, and Orb's army has been dwindling. Ooh, that's rough. Despite this airstrike, it wasn't as impressive as I thought. Orb is basically down to one base now. The Flamers also, they're going unopposed at the moment because there's no real answer. Yeah. But some immediate high threat level, they could go for the power plant. Oh, that's an advanced power plant, no less. Those are so important. Oh, the light tanks being parked in the econ lines. That's basically the only mining operation left here. The Flamers are making they're making minced meat and barbecue. Some good old barbecue and hash brownies. Oh, ho, ho, ho. There is the GG. That was really impressive. Well played from Borgmo. Great army movement, great backstabs, great flanks, and the recons have paid off big dividends. Alright, that's it for game 1. There is more where that one came from.
Battle control terminated.
See you in a sec. And for game number 2, we're finding ourselves on African Gambit. One of them maps, I'd wager. This is the one with the nice little village in the middle. Looks gorgeous. I've already commented on how beautiful this is. Some of the map makers have gone out of the way to make it really visually appealing. Okay, so what more is there to say about the map? It doesn't fit on my screen, so that is gonna tell you a story of how large it is. Because this screen is 2550 times 1460. Don't know the actual resolution, but it is fairly impressive in terms of size. I have to really angle my eyes to keep everything to keep track on everything at once. So Orb again walling off, this time a double layer of sandbags. You know, if the first protective layer isn't working, this is still not airtight, is it? I don't think it is. These two tiles, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but they look very much like passable terrain. Okay, soldiers being sent out in the middle. It's a blossom tree that's empty or barren. Doesn't really... Didn't ever notice that. Okay, it's gonna be a straight up War Factor rush. Also, it's a GDI mirror this time around. So, appears to be the case. Ooh, safeguarding with some kung fu kicks. It appears to be the case that as GDI, the meta has shifted more towards a War Factory rush. Whereas, as Nod, you've got your options. I guess it just hinges on the strength of the APC. It's a very popular choice because it is strong after all, and you basically want to build a barracks even if you're not building any infantry. Just doubles as a safety feature because you can build base defenses, but also as basically life insurance, so you can build an APC later. Whereas as Nod, you don't really need it. There's more options, but it's also a bit more risky. Those options may not be paying off fully. Okay, doesn't find anything out of the ordinary here. There is also a double welder on the top side as well. Humvees are giving chase to each other, usually favors the Humvee that is running away. You also don't take full... Oh, by the way, there's a new playtest out, and I've read through the changelogs that there are some interesting changes in there. Balance changes as well. 5 stack of rifles has been revealed, so I doubt the engineer is going to fall prey to this. Okay, some scouts have been sent through the base of Orb. Everything is revealed. And the sandbag barrier too. Ooh, putting in the damage on the Harvester. Hell yeah. You show him who's boss. Harvester intimidated into fleeing almost immediately. And the APC dissuading the curious Humvee from poking into the base too much. Ooh, comm center super early. Has this been revealed? Yes, sir. Orb knows what's up. That's only 3 Harvesters. Yikes. What a greedy build. 4 harvesters already out for Orb, 5th harvester on the way, and he now knows that he's also basically safe to tech. Sure, he's gonna be like 30 seconds behind on the airstrike timer, but his eco is set up way better, so he's in good shape for game 2. Here's the first medium. There are a couple things you can do, but none of them work on open maps. Oh, a Grenadier APC. That's something I haven't seen in a while. I dig. Only works if you manage to bait out the enemy guard tower or whatever they have queued up. Little do they know that Orb has queued up a turret. Yeah, I mean, for Grenadiers, they can inflict some serious harm. There is still only a couple Humvees out here for Orb. He's building turrets in his main eco lines. That's probably a smart choice. Oh, power down though. Yeah. That takes a while to rectify. There we go. Humvee still not finding too much. Okay, Borgmo has moved on to the south, whereas Orb is content sitting back on his one base. Advanced guard towers have started appearing for Borgmo. Okay, you can maybe crush the sandbag barrier. Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing. Crush the sandbags, then go in. This is a very well fortified base. It's not like this is gonna have much success at all. Okay. Down go the Grenadiers. Oh no, is the medium tank gonna die to the Humvees? Nope, just barely not. So it's basically just the APC delivering a couple of unvetted grunts into their demise. That was a bit of an unfriendly thing to do. It's what we would consider a social faux pas here in the West. What Grenadier on guard duty? Do Grenadiers of do they have karate animations? I've never checked. Never bothered checking, to be honest. They're usually out in the field and trying to inflict some damage. It's like not like they're idle most of the time. I really like this choice though. Also, Orb has gone for a repair facility, which is kind of a trademark for him. He, even in Tiberian Dawn, likes repairing his vehicles. Very commendable attitude. Just keep your soldiers alive. Ah, those projectiles. Love the animation. Basically, Borgmo has nothing much in terms of defense for now. It's gonna be a bit of a risky hold. He's gotten the first advanced guard tower up, but that is just easy to basically make your way around. You don't really need to attack to this vector. There's also very little infantry, so Borgmo basically would be in a disadvantaged position for now. He obviously does have the airstrike timer ticking down for him, so 1 minute and 20. Yeah. That's pretty good. Another Grenadier revealing the push. This time around, Borgmo is going to be prepared. Sending half his army up north. You may want to need more than half your army for this one. You may want to mount a massive field defense for now. This is a sizable push. Orb should honestly wait and couple this with the airstrike, because then you can just basically negate defender's advantage. Oh, they do have minigun. Oh, no, it's a minigunner. I was about to say they do have karate animations, but that was not the Grenadier. Let's see though, the Grenadiers have to do some serious heavy lifting builds. That is a massive blob of infantry. Oof. Medium tanks are scrambling to move back. There is no barracks production for now. There is only an MRLS here. Oh, it's looking a bit bleak. But Orb is not deciding to pursue this any further. He would have been in a great position to do so at the moment. Oh well. Basically missing his window here. Yeah, Borgmo just building more rifles. The good old rifle special is gonna come out in just a hot second, and his airstrike is ready. We're gonna see similar incomes. We're gonna see 11k lead for Orb. Yeah, that just ballooned out of control without much of Borgmo's input. That was really just his build. It was just him rushing out of War Factory and tech and not utilizing it. Not really inflicting any damage with it. Would be good to build maybe 2 Orcas. If you're going this route, taking up, building 2 Orcas would just ensure that you're gonna be able to inflict some damage, at least get a harvester maybe. Ooh, he leaves the second oil derrick alive. Curious choice. Feels like Borgmo is onto him. which is true in a literal sense, but it's not a very scary army. North end side though, how you're gonna stop this? Oh my goodness. Those rocket soldiers though, if they line up perfectly for one airstrike, why is Orb even doing this? You know how TD works. Why would you ever do this? Borgmo with a very ballsy MCV move out. Okay, we're gonna have to keep tabs on the airstrike. Unfortunately, I don't have audio right now, so it's gonna be a bit hard to get everything on camera. MRLS is starting to unload. Both MRLS, actually. It's a little rocket artillery battle. Alrighty, this is gonna be hella confusing now. There is fights going on multiple angles and on all fronts. He's probably trying to find the center of mass, which would be just exactly here. This is the most dense formation is. Yeah, airstrike is coming in. This is gonna be a really good one. Oh my goodness, misses this blob though. The Orcas from Orb, they've been waiting in ambush. And now they're trying to go in. There are still rocket soldiers though. Okay, he's trying to angle it. Ooh, MRLS still not down. That is an unfortunate coincidence. There's the counter airstrike. Scrambling to move back. A good split. Really good split from Borgmo. Manages to preserve most of his tanks. This could have been way worse. With how the armies were set up, I honestly would have bet my money on a clean victory for Orb. But that's not really what happened. Caster's vision, hindsight is 2020. Orcas unloading on one of the tanks. On an unfortunate receiving tank here. Mammoths are starting to appear in the mix, so the iron cannon is also ready to go. Ooh. There is no recourse at the moment. He needs a mass of mediums to really deal with this. Okay, that's Orb taking the field advantage. Easy, and that's gonna be easy pickings for the Orcas as well. He's deciding against it for the time being. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be a tech snipe onto the comm center. There's an APC. Oh, yep. This APC can get some good value. Oh my goodness! Orb is overcommitting so hard. Immediate general's promotion. Like, this thing is straight out of the factory. Yikes! What a blunder. Orb again committing for the north. This time around. He's bringing the mammoth. He's bringing the big boy. He's got more harvesters, is the thing. So again, we're gonna take a look. I mean, his lead has melted down to 9k, but that is still significant. Support powers are far off coming online. There's gonna be an ion cannon very momentarily. Alright, APC's having a field day. Oh my, that's all of the rifle infantry gone. Now all you need is to wait for the grenadiers to arrive. Man, that was a blunder from Orb. Just letting them all get run over by this one general APC. Man, this thing, seriously, having some staying power, even against the Mammoth. And the Mammoth is slowly starting to get out DPS'd. It is dead. Holy cow, what a hold. Wave number 2 incoming. Borgmo is spraying out his forces. He knows he has to fend off at least another 1 or 2 pushes until he can re-establish his eco and expand from there. But I really think the combat tab should be in his favor now. Yeah, 10k lead here. Economy, though, is still looking a bit brutal. The assets have evened out. The Mammoth tank, there is basically nothing else left other than the Mammoth tank. A lot of infantry, and then that's it. One more. Yeah, Nate does the trick. And he's hard committing for the Conyard. Ooh, the crushes are good. This is gonna be an overcommitment from Orb yet again. On the other side, the General APC is wreaking havoc together with a couple mediums and some grenadiers. Man, I really gotta say, what a comeback from Borgmo. It was looking very bleak in my opinion. He was 11k behind, he was trading so hard. Okay, can Orb salvage this with his support weapon? 2 minutes off the iron cannon. Orb is now going for a very expensive infantry blob style, but he crucially is risks losing his standing army here. Those mediums not gonna have a good day. They're mostly still alive though. That's kind of curious. Maybe patch up on Orb Service Depot. That would be a cool perk if you could just park your vehicles on your enemy's service depot. Is this gonna be another overcommitment? He's going for the advanced comm center, and this thing has insane health. Oh, the MLS has found its way into the power lines, and there is low power for Orb. This is devastating. Also, this little dispatch has started working down the ore refineries. Man, Orb is being pulled apart in all directions. Yep, most of the mammoth tanks are gone. Gone is the tier 3 as well, so he has to find another battle plan here. Oh my goodness, the APC's still alive, really? General APC. I salute you. Oh no, down goes another harvester here. Yeah, Orb basically, his assets have been halved, and now it's Borgmo with a mammoth tank. Did he steal that? Nope. There's an advanced comm center out for him as well. Okay, where does that leave us? What a wacky game. Assets are dead even. Harvesters slightly in favor of Borgmo. Earnings have recovered. Sort of. The combat tab is the big ticket. There's a 10k lead for Borgmo here. Again, SGDI, you don't really have good answers to mass infantry, by the way. That is one of the common problems that you're gonna face. Because buggies are Humvees are single target. They'll never manage to out-DPS everything. Then you've got MRLS, which are good at proning infantry, but not that great. Grenadiers, not that good against moving targets. So it's really hard to deal with those masses, as it were. Both players are just... Ooh, there's a Chinook. Okay. Both players are just one airstrike away from disaster, and speaking of disaster, speaking of the airstrike, that is half of the army completely blown out of the sky. Yep. Now what? How are you gonna hold this? There's lots of rockets streaming in slowly, trickling in. And a good front line provided by the minigunners and the grenadiers. Borgmo is trying to find his hail by kiting back. That's probably a good call. Yeah, he's also smartly avoiding most of the damage that's coming in. Is there an airstrike out? It is ready. Borgmo does have the airstrike. This army, while relatively mobile for infantry standards because it's mostly grenadiers, can still die to a single airstrike. Let's see. Defense has been mounted. Yeah, there it is. Good angle. Oh, what a nasty hit. Absolutely brutalizing this army. I just knew this one was coming. Okay, the mammoth from Borgmo has died. Economy not looking in great shape though. There is a secondary push onto the eco lines yet again. That's 3 harvesters down, 4 down, and a 5th to follow. That is basically more than half the income of Orb. Yikes. More rocket infantry coming in. And only 1 mammoth tank left on this side of the map. So this push is basically over for all intents and purposes.
Time to rock and roll.
Oh man. Oh, a commando. Borgmo is going commando. We've got confirmation here. Very low health. Damn, son. I really gotta say, the grenadier play, the aggressive flanks. Borgmo showing how it's done. Oh, he's going for the power yet again. Yikes. Oh, this is looking bleak for Orb at that time. Commando making its way out, exfiltrating. The Mammoth is doing an insane... GG. Mammoth has been doing an insanely good job at kiting all the infantry, by the way. What a game 2. This is just what we want to see from TD. All units being built, no punches... no weak punches being thrown here. Just everything in the kitchen sink thrown at the opposing player. What a game 2. This puts Borgmo up a 2-0, sorry. And we're gonna see each other in game 3 in just a second. Be right back.
Battle control terminated.
And here we are with game number 3 on crack point. Alright. One of those players is gonna crack one way or the other. Unlike my voice. Kappa. Okay, this time it's a not mirror, so we've basically seen all iterations, and thus far Borg taking the lead or a stalwart defender and a master of both factions. But Orb definitely not far behind. This has always been a closely matched series. Really enjoying this thus far. And this time around, what we're gonna see is just a hand of not opener for both players, and a really greedy one with an engineer early from Orb, whereas Borgmo is going for the rifles first. I mean, this is a long spawn distance, so there is no chances you're gonna lose your engineer in the first 5 seconds. This is not gonna happen. Orb already building a guard tower, yeah. You know what's up. Is there a chance of a rocket recon rush? That would be hilarious. By the way, I was just thinking the other day, you remember how EA have basically introduced like this Command & Conquer mobile game? What was it called? I played that for a while. What happened to that game? Is that still around? I'll definitely have to check. Wait, that's Destroyed Haystacks. I didn't know there was a sprite for that. I knew that there were... yeah. This looks like an RA2 asset, right? Because those assets were an RA or an RA1 asset, not a TD asset. Doesn't look like TD assets, to be honest. We're trying to get the oil derrick and is gonna get it safely. Easy money. Oh, I was about to talk about the balance patch like some 15 minutes ago before we got sidetracked again by going on 5 different tangents because there's been a couple things to go over. Okay. Yeah, Borgmo's rifles getting the jump, and thus he's gonna get the oil derrick back. Well, that's pretty good for him. Orb is managing to exfiltrate his MCV. This is the map that is a bit like Patches in that you basically have to super early expand. He's opting for a different route, okay. Orb, I really like what he's doing here. The problem is it's hard to defend, but you're going to be spreading yourself very thin. But basically you want to go maybe power plant, barracks, and then a refinery here. And then another power plant, tech building, refinery. In TD, I think you can have up to 3 tiles, or even 4 tiles between. Oh, he does have a game plan, most certainly. You can have basically a 4 tile distance, or 3 tiles, I'm not sure, between buildings, which means that you're you can spread apart your base much easier, but it's also really hard to defend on all fronts then. More of a safe route for Borgmo, who has managed to just basically settle down at his natural expansion. And 2 harvesters, followed up by a 3rd harvester, and now it's not buggy spam time. Oh yeah, bring on the buggy spam. Already 3 buggies out for Orb. Trying his best to inflict some structural damage here. Please trade off armies. First blood. I mean, not technically first blood, but hey. Oh, Orb's attention is slipping a little here. Losing a couple buggies early on. It's 300 a pop, it's not too bad. Not the end of the world. Oh, this is the classic vehicle spam. Light vehicle spam from all orifices. Okay. We know what's up here. That's gonna be a super early double war factory. That is not a late game build. Thus far, Borgmo getting some good trades. 2.1k versus 1.5k. This sort of... Orb's eco is stalling real bad. What? Huh? I mean, I get that the kill score is looking bleak, but... what an anticlimactic way to end the series. Wait a second. Okay, I'm gonna have to check the army. Army graph was fairly even. Earnings? Looking a bit better for Borgmo, but that's nothing you couldn't overcome by going for some great micro. Huh. Did he manage to get... I don't think he managed to get an engineer in or anything. I'll have to rewatch that. But I'm fairly certain this hasn't been the case. Okay, you know what? Just to make sure. This is something that I don't normally do, but we're gonna have to make sure that no weird shenanigans have been happening. We're just gonna speed through this on max speed. Okay. Okay, so he's still fine. Still fine on that front. There is no engineer in sight. Really, what the hell happened here? His eco is set up okay. And then just GG's out. Okay, it was really just basically him saying I've lost too much of my army. Weird. That is unlike Orb. He's a fighter usually. He didn't manage to reheat his dinner in time. He's a microwave TV dinner, so he was like, screw this, I'm out of here. I don't know what happened there. Usually a bit of a bit more of a fighter, but hey, that happens. Sometimes we all have those series, and I've had an especially large amount of those in the past season. But anyway, thank you for watching. We're going to be back with more TD, hopefully with a better conclusion. But I've got to have to say, games number 1 and 2 were insane. Game number 2 especially delivered on all fronts, and it had me call it for Orb 2 or 3 times already, and then Borgmo brought it back from the brink 2 times in a row. Fairly impressive. What a series, except the last game. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time with more RA, and there's also going to be basically the RAGL finals that are going to be casted shortly. And I'll see you next time. 5 aces. Out.
Battle control terminated.